So today we practice three basic stances. Okay, one is a rooted stance like this, very simple. The other is a horse riding stance like this. Okay, and the third is a back stance like this. So these three stances will be practiced. I'll show you how does it help. You're walking on the street and it's a rainy season out there. You'll be wearing your rainy footwear, but still, there is a lot of moss at some places, and just incidentally, if somebody pushes you, or you get pushed, or you get slipped off in the forward direction, if you fall down, you may hurt yourself. Okay, so in order to prevent yourself from falling, we practice one of the stance. This is also self-defense. Self-defense from an external injury that can happen to you. Okay, that might happen to you. So how to protect oneself from that? Okay, so keep your hands on your waist. Just watch this first, and she will land down on her right leg. But when she is landing down, the practice has to be you have to brush your toe and land down. Okay, brushing the toe. One. Watch this. Yes. Now this is called a rooted stance. Rooted because you are actually rooted to the ground, like a tree which is rooted deeply inside the ground. Okay. So here the body weight is 60% of your body weight on the front leg and 40% of your body weight on the back leg. Fine. The knee is pointing towards the camera, that is the direction of movement. The toe is again pointing straight. The back toe is 45 degrees outside. Now, how does it help you? For example, if she's moving, and I push her from behind. Okay, this push can be by an accident, maybe unforeseen, or maybe somebody purposely do that. So, in the normal scenario, what happens if somebody pushes, then you lose your balance, and you may fall down. You may injure yourself. The head is exposed, so that can be dangerous. So if you know this, you can balance your body by landing down in a stance, right? So at least you prevent a fall. You prevent a fall, which can protect you. Okay. So let's practice this stance. Keep your hands on your waist. The distance between both the legs should be equivalent to your waist or your shoulder, whatever. But you should be stable on the floor. Both the toes facing straight, absolutely straight. Right leg forward. Now the same way you need to come back to your original position. That is by brushing the toe of your leg, not the heel. 2. And come back to the natural position. Okay. 3. Land forward. You can change your leg. Left leg forward now. See your spine. The spine is straight. Your posture is straight. Your eyes are focusing in the direction of your movement. Okay. 5. Back. 6. 7. 8. Okay. 9. And 10. Okay. Now, come back. Now there are two types of your sole. Okay. One sole is like an arc. You have an arc here, right? One is a flat sole, like Neil man will show you. We'll show you also. This is a flat sole, flat with an arc. Okay. So now in both the scenarios, the grip will be almost the same, but the gripping depends on how you push your fingers on the floor, how you grip the floor with your fingers. Fingers play a major role. Okay. So you need to, when you brush the toe, you also have when you're brushing the toe and when you're landing, when you land, you grip the floor firmly with your legs. So even if you're having your rainy footwear or even a sports shoes or a normal footwear, when you hold the grip with your fingers, the chances of slipping is very less, minimal, you can see. Okay, so let's try. Hands on your waist. Hands on your waist. Here we go. 1. Right leg. 2. Back. 3. Left leg. 4. Back. 5. Right leg. 6. 7. Left leg. 8. 9. right leg, and 10. Okay. Now let us do it a bit faster and be firm on the floor. So when you sit here, try to see at least 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. Hold yourself. Fine. So let's try. Be in the center. 3. Over here. Very good. 3, 4. You're brushing on your toe. You're pulling back on your toe. Please keep this in mind. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So far, so good. Any difficulties? If you're fine with it, you can please show your thumb. So we understand that, yes, you have understood. Yes? Okay. Fine. So moving ahead, keep your hands on the side. Okay. Don't drop your hands down. We'll strengthen the hand muscles and at the same time we'll work on the stability of the lower body. Same stance, right leg forward, 1. Moving back, 2. 3 in front. 4 behind. Yes. 5. Okay, now hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go back. So now you need to give yourself that push. Okay, you need to stand here and visualize somebody pushing you. What happens? How do you fall in front? So maybe what you can do is you can stand straight and you can slightly lean forward, slightly lean forward, slightly lean forward, and you can stop yourself. Okay, but please be careful or else you will fall down. Okay, so just lean forward slightly and then land forward. So this is a practice what you have to do. We will watch, we will observe. So here we go. Stand straight, slightly lean forward. So your center of gravity is here. As of now, your center of gravity is here on both the legs, equal weight. Now you're dropping in front, and suddenly you're stopping. Okay? Apply brakes. This is like applying brakes before falling down. Okay, let's try. What I see from the screen is when we are sitting down, when you're pulling back, you're doing this way. You're leaning forward, your glutes are going out, and then you're pulling back. Let us not do this way. Once we are here, when we pull back, we need to take it back this way. In this, while coming back, the back heel will play a major role. If the heel is lifted up like this, and you pull yourself, you may lose your stability a bit. But if you are here and you focus your body weight on the back heel and pull, it will be easy for you. Okay? So when you're going back, focus your body, concentrate on the back heel and pull yourself back. Okay? Yesterday we did this blocks. Okay? Deflection, suppression. So now let's see whether we are able to execute this while moving forward. Okay? From here, stand straight and you know how to hold your fingers and make a strong fist. Okay, so here, very simple. Now, okay, now I'll show you this diagonal position. So when you are stepping forward, you do this 1, right? The other hand can be pulled back on your waist, right? And when you're going back, you press it down and relax. So we do both the deflection, the suppression together. See how it goes. You're stepping forward and you're deflecting. You're putting your hand back on your waist. When you're going back, you're focusing on your back heel and pulling back. At the same time, this is falling down and getting ready. To make it easier, further easier, we'll do 1 and getting ready. Okay? Then later on, we'll add this. Okay? Now, why this is important? It's self-defense. Because if the person is at a distance, okay? If the person is at a distance, so you don't wait for the person to run at you and harm you. Before the person comes in your personal space, you try to intercept the target and try to counter. So if the person comes for a face attack, okay? You're standing on a bus stop or you're standing on a railway station, you know, you can have a chain snatcher who can come your way to snatch a chain. you're standing on a footpath, or you just are aware and alert. You come to know that something wrong is happening. So by that time, you should be able to know, rather than running off, you should be able to fight it out to protect your chain from being snatched. So in this case, if somebody is coming to snatch my chain from a distance, one, so I can always deflect and come back. Understand? And raise an alarm. Okay, we can scream for help, but at least you saved your chain, you saved yourself from being hurt. Because when they pull the chain, they pull it this way, so your neck may get hurt. So you try to deflect and stay safe. This is for the daily application. Okay, so from here, one, okay, and back, two, and back, okay, three, and back. Fine, so let's practice this. Okay, here we go. Right leg forward, right hand goes for deflection. One. The other hand can land on your waist. You can keep it on your waist. Like this. Yes. Okay. Two, move back. Keep in mind when you're moving back, brush your toe. Three. Four. Going back. Five. Going back. Don't take your eyes off the target. Six. Back. Seven. Back. Okay. Eight. Come on. Back. Two more. A bit faster. Nine. Back. And yell out high, like what we did yesterday. Yell out. You can also take your name if you want. Okay. 10. Hey. Yes. Back. Okay. Any difficulties in understanding till now? Everything fine? If you have any difficulties, please let us know via chat, or you can unmute yourself and talk and let us know. Okay, fine. As of now, it seems that everybody is understood. Okay, fine. So now let's begin with the second one, the suppression. Okay. So what we do is we stay in this position. This is the starting position. And when we go back, we just put it down and get ready. Okay, then we are here. Then when we go back, we just put it down, and we are ready. Why? Now, for example, get that stick. Okay, now this is the stick. Okay, if the stick comes in a straight direction, okay, the best way is to be away. I understand. Okay, but a scenario where there is nothing to go back, like for example, this is the wall here. So there is nothing from where I can escape. Here there is a furniture. Here there is a furniture. I have so much space in front, nothing behind, no scope for movement. I'm blocked. So the only scope is going forward, facing the threat, neutralizing the threat. Okay. At times we are caught in situations where there is no escape. So the thing is, we have to face the situation. We have to emerge as a victor rather than being as a victim. Okay. So in that case, if the threat is coming in the direction of the stomach, okay, so then this will not help, because this will be struck. This already has struck. Okay. So in this case, what you can do is, one, we can press it down. So if there is a sharp object, we don't catch the object. Okay. We don't want to cut our hands and we don't want to bleed. So what we do is we press it down on the top of it. Okay, on the top of it. If there is a knife is so long. Okay. So when somebody is coming with a dagger or a knife, don't press the knife or the dagger, or you will bleed. You have to press the hand. Understand? You have to closing the gap. You ready? You have to closing the gap first, because there is no escape. Was there an escape? You could have ran for a safe shelter. But now there is no escape. You face the threat and try to neutralize it before it comes. Each one, and they are down. Okay, so the pointed object is down, at the same time your one hand is free, the other person's body is exposed, so you can strike and move back. At least you can save yourself at that point and then run for help. There are good people who can help, okay, but at least we tackled that dangerous situation and we came out. So this way. So stay here, all of you. The first thing, okay, let's start from here. 2, press it and relax. Okay. 3. Let's start from here. 4. Press it and relax. Now when you're pressing it, okay, see how my hand is. I will bring it close to the camera. This way. It is not loose, tight. The thumb is locking all the 4 fingers, okay? Here this way. Horizontally placed this way, vertically placed this way. On the side it looks like this. Okay, let's try. So get ready with the first one because you know the first one. Now going back here, suppressing it down. 2, come on, and ready. Keep in mind your eyes play a major role, okay? So let your eyes not look here and there. That shows weakness inside. That shows that you are frightened by that. So keep your eyes on the target. 3, ready? Yes. Don't you take your eyes off the target. 4. Okay, relax. Ready? 5. Now when you're suppressing it, breathe out. 6, come on, breathe out. Yes, and relax. Okay. Now let's do stepping forward and pushing the hand down. Suppression while moving forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take it fall down. 10. Yes. Okay. Fine. Now let's practice both the things, okay? Both the things. Like standing straight, moving forward in the rotate stance. 1, second, 2, and back. Ready. Okay. Then 3, then 4 while coming back and getting ready. Try this. Okay, you have these are 2 different tasks. What you are getting together, integrating them, so it becomes a multitask. Okay, come on, let's start. 1. Okay, right leg forward, right hand goes for a deflection. You're watching the target. 2. Press it down and relax. 3. Left leg, left hand. Same way the left leg goes back, the left hand comes down. 5. And relax. Now let's try to do it in 1 count. Okay, 1 count. How can we do it in 1 count? So, count number 1, you step forward, you deflect. In the same count, you go back, suppress, and get ready. Okay. So let's do it slowly. So 1 is here, here, and coming back. 2 is here, here, and coming back. Okay. If you do it faster, it will be like 1 and back. Here. 1 and back, and here. But we'll go fast later. Let's do 5 counts slowly so that you can understand how it has to be done. Let's try. 1. Stepping forward, deflecting, going back, suppressing, and getting ready. 2. So now we are changing the order. So please watch first. Don't do it. How was the first order? This was the first order. Okay. Watch it again.
1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and back.
Okay. Now the second order is 1 down. Okay. 2 side and back. Please do it again, mailman.
1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and back. 1, 2, and back.
Okay. Are we good to go? Fine. Okay. Let me know if any difficulties are there so we can help you all. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2 in 2 counts and relax. 3, 4 on the side and relax. You must have realized that you are not only developing strength inside your body, but you are also burning a lot of calories. Proper training will burn equal calories to aerobic exercises. Okay, so this is important. Now, you're not only developing your strength, but also your stamina as well as suppleness. And you're also learning how to condition your mind to move ahead, taking the entire body as one comprehensive unit. Okay, let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, continuously your brain is at work. 7, 8, it enhances concentration as well. 9, 10.
Hey.
Okay, take your chair. You all are sitting on a chair. I would like to know how many of you are able to touch the entire feet on the ground. Okay, fine. Now, what happens is many of the time our toe and the heel doesn't touch the floor. So we sit like this, either touching the tip of the toe on the floor, right? So when we are getting up, it becomes difficult because you have to press the heel down and then get up. That's the natural way we get up. So now, what we need to do is, when we are sitting on a chair, we are either relaxing, or either we are alert. When we are in alert state, our spine is almost straight. When you are relaxing, you're leaning back, you're relaxed. Okay. But in both the ways, when you want to get up, how can you be quick in getting up? Like for example, you're sitting at one place and suddenly you hear a loud sound coming from outside. We get panicked. What happened? And the first thing what we do is we get up and stand on our feet. That's a natural reaction what comes to us. Okay. So our brain is conditioned in that way by nature and nurture. So when we are getting up in certain position, there may be a jerk on the body, okay, which can lead to spasm, muscle spasm later on. So when you're getting up from the chair, how should you get up quickly will be shown right now. Okay, now the thing is slightly lean forward, and put the entire weight on your legs and get up. One step forward. Okay. So when you're sitting on a chair like this, slightly lean forward and be this way. So the stance what we did prior, the rooted stance. Okay, the rooted stance. The application of that can be like here and here without falling down. So at least this much. Okay, so the body is intact while going forward, while getting up from the chair. In case of any external thing which can create a panic or a threat situation, please sit down again, all of you, and get up. We may have never watched the way in which we get up from a chair. This is something very minuscule. We try to forget. But small things matter most. 1, okay, focus how we get up. Be aware. Yes, get down. Okay.
So our knees, after a certain age, we get aches and pains in our knees and back. So for your knees, some exercises by sitting on chair is easy and very good. Those are, just lift your legs straight, make it straight and hold it for 10 seconds. And then slowly keep it down. Keep your toe up and pointing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and relax. Again up, straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now other leg and point your toe out. Out, this way. Yes, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now flex. Inside. As much as you can. See, you can get a stretch behind. So even while sitting, your sciatic nerve, which is going from your waist to your feet, is getting stretched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down. Other leg up and point your toe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now flex inside. Make it in. More. Get a stretch behind your feet, behind your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, relax.
Yesterday when we began the session, we had hands like this, okay, on guard position. When you open, it becomes like a namaste. But now we can keep it here, where the back of the hand is facing the camera. You can be seated in the chair. Back of the hand is facing the camera. Okay, here. Now the point of impact. We are showing you a back fist strike. I'll tell you the importance of it. But first thing is you need to know how to make a strong fist. And now here. Okay. So the point of impact is the first two knuckles. Okay. First two knuckles are the point of impact on any target. Yes. So now back fist strike is nothing but you are extending one of your hand straight, and the target is the tip of the nose. The tip of the nose is the target, right? What happens when we accidentally strike our hand on the tip of our nose? Our eyes start watering and we lose sense of what is happening around for a few seconds. So that few seconds can be a situation where you can escape, that can be held for your own rescue from that particular threat. Okay, so back fist strike here and back. So here, extend your arm, but don't make it straight. Extend your arm this much and pull it back. This much and pull it back. But make sure that there is a mobility in your joint as well. There is a mobility in your joint as well. The hand goes here and the joint can further extend and come back. This way and try this. We can see this, okay? So my hand is here. So see, this is the target. So it goes and hits on the tip of the nose. Like this and pull back. Like you extend and you pull back. Don't keep your hand there. You just pull it back when the strike is done. So here and back, here and back. And as we all know that the nose is in the center, the symmetry, and this cannot be conditioned as I said yesterday. So if you strike, there are better chances of safeguarding yourself and moving out from the threat. Okay, so one and back, two. See, only the tip, only the first two knuckles are touching the target. First and the second. The last two knuckles are doing nothing, but they're just helping. They're supporting fingers. Okay, so one back, two back, three back, four and back. Okay, so one back, two back, three back, four back. Make sure your hand doesn't go straight over here because the target is close range. When you are in closer range, you can strike and move on. Chin level. Okay, and you are able to see through where you want to go. Right hand, one, extend and pull back. Two, extend and pull back. Three, extend and pull back. Four, extend and pull back. When you're doing this, you're also strengthening your forearm, you're strengthening your bicep muscle, you're strengthening your shoulder, you're strengthening your tricep muscle. So all this is the byproduct of this training. Okay, so let's go. One, two. Okay, now let's work on the speed. One, two, strike and pull back. Three, four, five, both the hand facing each other, and you strike on the side. Same thing. Only thing is when you're striking with your right hand, look at the right side. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Okay, relax. Bring your hands in front. Relax. Drop them. Okay. Just press your shoulders gently with your arm. Okay. Relax, relax, relax. Okay. Fine. Now last training. Last time. Okay. Hands in front. Okay. 10 back fist strike in the front direction. Faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. On the side direction. Okay. Here we go. Right side, left side combination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, relax. Okay, now this is the training is done. I'll explain why I taught this. Okay, because we all use personal transport as well as public transport. So when we use public transport, we travel either by standing or either by sitting. Okay, when you're sitting like this, now there may be two people facing each other. If you have somebody who's a insane person, okay, he tries to trouble you. Maybe slowly he keeps his hand on your hand, or maybe on your thighs, or maybe tries to lean towards you. That time, this is closer range. close quarter self-defense. So that time, if you know how to strike, you can strike and relax. Let the other person bear the brunt of it. Okay? And when you do this, you tend to put your body in front. And maybe you have to use this way. So that's the reason we showed you this exercise. How to step forward. You getting it? How to step forward. Otherwise, you may fall down. Otherwise, if I'm striking, I lose balance, I fall down. Boom! Finished. The game is over. Right? So, you need to maintain your stability when you're moving. You cannot ignore that. Okay. So, from here, right. And yes, one more thing. When you're sitting in the bus, you don't have to sit like this. Okay? It will be natural because everybody is not bad. Okay. But you need to be alert and aware of the scenes around you. So in case if something goes wrong, you can start your attack from here. That's okay. That comes with continuous training. Now this is a controlled attack. Even if I don't look at it, I still control my attack. But for an assailant, you need not control. You can just hit and back, right? This is the front scenario. Now we're sitting here on the side, right, away from each other, slightly, and maybe like this, okay, or maybe like this, or maybe like this. So in this case, boom, here, on the temple, the side of your skull. So how it goes? Here, stop. On the side of your skull. When you're hitting on the side, when you're facing straight each other, okay, the tip of your nose, and the second knuckle. On the side, second knuckle, but the side of your skull. Is that clear? So just do it for 10 times and then we stop the session. So let's try this way. Let's try this way. Our legs are here, hands are here. So one count, front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Now on the side, okay, on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes, relax. Relax, okay? All of you relax. Okay. So let's do some breathing exercises and then we wind up because it's already 9:07. Okay.
Focus on your breathing as we did yesterday. Breathe in and breathe out. With your diaphragm, keep your hands here. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay. So this way, as breathing is important, even while doing the technique, while in all our daily routine. So see to it that you increase breathing in, you hold it for 3 seconds, then breathe out. Generally, we don't focus on breathing whatever we in our daily routine. So see to it that you do it breathing with your diaphragm, and if you can focus for a few minutes of the day on your breathing pattern, will really help you for good lung capacity.
Okay. So that was it. Thank you very much for attending the session. So tomorrow we have the session 3 at 8 o'clock, and tomorrow will be the last session for this time. But we can always continue training you all online or offline as per the situation. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Pause. Pause.